Did you fix your hair?
We're meeting today with Tam Nguyen.
Yes.
Tam
Tam
Nguyen.
Nguyen.
When?
Yes.
Now Tam has an interesting story of how he got to where he is,
Yes.
and we want to start where he was born at. And
My name is Tam Nguyen, and I was born at T-Haw Air Base, and growing up a little village about 2 hours from T-Haw called Phuket, Vietnam. And come to America under program called Amerasian Homecoming Act, signed by President Ron Reagan. I came to.
at what age? What age were you?
I was 19.
19.
I left Vietnam in May 20, 1992. Stayed in Bataan, Philippines for 6 months. Came to Rochester, New York, the end of 1992. And from there moved out to Virginia. All my life want to know who my parents are. Didn't know my dad, didn't know my mom, but I knew that my dad is American GI.
Okay, and you knew
And,
he was. What was his job over there? You remember?
I did not knew what his job, but I was told that he was stationed and hanging out at the bar outside the base a lot, and he was a handsome guy. That's all I know. So
What?
I didn't. That's the only thing I knew. That's the only thing I knew about him. So I want to find out where he at and what he looked like, but I didn't know
Did
where to
anybody
start.
ever tell you what unit he was in?
I knew it, he was in helicopters unit. That's the
But
only
you don't
thing I
know
know.
what numbers it
But I
was.
didn't know what number, what year, what month, and I would know that I was born somewhere 71, 72.
Okay.
And I always wanted to find him. And my birth mother, but didn't know where and how to start.
Yeah. Now the Vietnamese girls, your mother. I knew a few of them girls myself. They were once they fell for a guy, they stuck. They didn't mess around. So if they had an American GI boyfriend, they stuck with him.
I wouldn't blame her because handsome like my dad, who wouldn't fall, you know? Yeah. But I was told that my dad was stationed at that base and my mom was engaged with the Vietnamese captain, South Vietnamese Army captain.
Oh, okay. All right.
And her name is Mai, M-A-I. After 3 days I was born, the whole time that she wanted to have abortion, but the lady and several people invited him that don't have abortion, and if you have a kid, just put to an orphanage. When I came to in life, she told her Vietnamese family that the boy she gave birth to is dead, didn't survive. But in reality, I was survived. She just put me in a box and dropped me off at the lady that owned the bar that where my dad hanging out outside the base. And according to what I was told, early morning she wake up, I was crying. She came out and I was in the box.
Huh.
And picked me up and raised me. 7 months later, my mom coming back to saw me. The last time was sometime in 72, my birth mother. And from there, she never came back again. Saigon, fall 75. My mom, the communist, took everything she owned. And she went to a re-education camp. That's what they call it. Basically, anything related to America is American is a devil. So they have to reprogram your mind. Communist is number one. Socialist Stalin is a lifesaver, basically. I grew up a little village in Phuket, left there, 1990, came to Saigon, and then come to America.
Okay. Could you speak any English when you came?
I left Vietnam with $25 in my pocket. I did not have enough money to live in Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
so I grow vegetable and sell vegetable in the camp to live until I came to America. Learn a little bit of English as man, I'm a survivor, man.
Yeah.
I'm a survivor. So many things. Well, I came to Rochester, New York, go to school, watch this at night at the restaurant, and moved out to Virginia
Mm-hmm.
until the DNA available. That's where I did my DNA. I found the first cousin, distant cousin, with Catherine and Maggie, and you and Tom, but the second cousin, distant cousin that I found.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Tom told you, you contact me next day, you thought I was your son.
His wife Kathy thought that.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, you never know.
And you start sending me all the pictures that you were in Vietnam.
That's it.
And I look at your young picture, I thought I would meet, that was my dad too. But then I request you did do a DNA and came back, is that the
Came back
DNA
like Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
we
brother.
knew you were
Came-
4 generations
and
away.
came back as fourth
How did that
cousin.
come back? What did it say there? when
It
you-
just says,
Fork.
it says the distance, the number of generations you are apart.
Yeah, that's it?
Counting on all the DNA matches or
Yeah,
lipo
yeah.
matches, it says you have a common ancestor about 4 to 5 generations back.
That's impressive. Yeah.
It is, I mean, and so there's about 10,000 first cousin or fifth first cousin, so we had a big gap to fill.
No.
Broad spectrum for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the DNA process, I met so many people and wonderful like you and Tom.
Yeah, he's
and
got a whole
Catherine.
list of people.
But I also met some really interesting people as well, cousins as well. You know, some this is one gentleman I never forget. I sent him an email and say, hey, my name, I was born, and this is what I'm looking for. He respond in a minute. He said, hey, you're a young man, futuristic. In the movie, you will never find your father. So just give it up and move on.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Wow.
I can't help you, Black. I'm like, oh man. But you know, now look back, I'm glad I didn't give it up. You know, I keep searching, send email, 1,000 on. I contact, as you know, John McCain, Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
I contact him. I wrote him a letter. I contact Jim Warner, congressman for Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I contact the group they call T-Hawk Air Base Reunion. I call him up. I say, hey, my dad was stationed at that air base. I need your help. I read every email that reunion, and I send pretty much most of them. I say, hey, this is me, and I'm looking for my dad. They all respond. I can't help you unless you know the name, the unity within, the ranking, this, you know, the year he was based. I say, I guess. So the end, it's about, I guess about last year, I worked with a group they call DNA, Family DNA Detective, Angel Sherp.
How'd you
And-
find them?
Internet, amazing. Google was awesome.
It is awesome.
Facebook was number 2.
I agree.
How much dollars did you put of your own money in this?
Well, I
search?
put quite a bit of money. I test every DNA out there available.
You paid for their tests? and
I
that's
paid.
part of that.
In America, we got 3 biggest database DNA companies. They call Ancestry, Family Tree DNA, and 23andMe. And I did all 3. And I went beyond that. They call Y DNA. And I did Y. They have 2 levels of Y. Only men care the Y. And I did 37 marker and 101 marker. And those are going back to 1600. And I'm telling you, I did every DNA available out there.
Hmm.
And I went home, I told my wife, I said, now, Ancestry asked me $5,000 for 25-hour work on DNA. Should I go? Well, she said, well, if you're looking for what you're looking for, you go for it. But I feel bad. The reason I feel bad is if I spend $5,000 on DNA that the end, like 25 hours, they can't find my father. I spend like 1,000 hours, and they spend 25 hours. What make them go find my dad?
Mhm.
So I didn't go for it. But the reason and about 3-4 months ago, that cousin Tammy DeLego that did her DNA test. And I contact her, I say, Tammy, this is where I am at, and I need your help. She said, what do you mean need help? I said, hey, first you need to download the JetMap. She said, JetMap, what the heck is that? I had no clue. So I help her download JetMap. She came down to my second cousin, ex-remote. I know I'm home pretty much that from now on. After that, I asked her, can you share your match with me? I opened up her DNA, see who she matched with. And she opened up.
We had never got below fourth cousins to DNA at that point.
Yeah, you and I we knew we related.
Yeah.
All the cousins I know that we related certain state.
But everybody was at that fourth level, and you got a second level.
Yeah, from North Carolina down. All the distant cousin I relate to are from North Carolina down, from the south. I know, I knew my dad is somewhere in the south, period.
Mhm.
I even wrote the email, told you guys too. I say, I knew my dad is somewhere in the south.
Mhm.
But did not know exactly which spot he from.
Yep.
So when
How did you happen upon this person that brought you to the second?
she did the test,
She did. And
Yeah.
it fired something off with who?
she did the test, and I wrote her an email. I say, open up her email,
Through-
her DNA. Let me see her DNA.
Was that through Ancestry?
Ancestry, yeah.
Okay.
So then she opened up, she shared just about everything.
Wow.
Tammy was awesome.
No, that's
That
one
is
of
awesome.
everybody's cousins here that everybody knows, or did you?
Probably not.
No, probably not. What's the name?
Tammy DeLego. Now she married
I know some
to.
DeLegos, but I don't know Tammy. DeLego.
Now she married to. Married to Tammy Cox. COOK. She live in Montana.
Cook?
Cook.
Okay.
She live in Montana.
They married into your families probably 2-3
No, her
generations
dad
ago.
was DeLego. It was great grandmother's side.
Yeah.
But she married into the
To
Cook
the
family.
Cook family.
Okay, I got you.
But her DNA doesn't matter who she married. What her last name is.
No,
It's
I
her
agree.
gene, yeah.
No, I agree.
So when she opened up her match,
I know a Cook myself.
Really?
That's- Yeah, that's
that
fine.
might relate to you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Maybe.
right now.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. I did relate to you.
I've had a problem with it. Everybody's like, "Are y'all brothers?" I'm like, "No, we're not brothers," you know. But yeah, anyway.
So when her opened up her DNA match, within a week we found
That's amazing.
when
Where did I put my jacket?
But DeLego is key, I would imagine.
yes, they are from
DeLegos are prominent.
great grandmother's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So when we come into this far, I knew that this wasn't a lie. I look on Facebook, Uncle Chris Facebook.
Mhm.
I knew that 3 gentlemen was in Vietnam.
Sure.
I can't be his son because I was too late. Grandfather was earlier.
Yeah.
So the only
Be our father.
suspect is our dad,
Our father.
our father. But I'm not friend to Uncle Chris on Facebook, so I can't see too many pictures of him. So I asked Cherry, she to work on my case, say, hey Cherry, she sent me a picture. I knew. After she sent me a picture, I knew. Is it? I don't have to go longer. I saw the picture of you and Dad and Auntie.
Mhm.
I knew that him. That's it. But during the time, before we sent out DNA, Cherry called me up, say, hey, you know, I need you say prayer for open-minded family because we don't know what they're in. You know,
What you found, I'll be darned.
if they
Right.
refuse to do a DNA test, you know, we wouldn't know where we're at. So I guess she talked to a couple cousins, distant cousins, all from here. And they point to Uncle Chris, number, called Chris up. He not only did the DNA, volunteer did DNA, he sent it overnight, I guess. He did it overnight. He did it overnight. And I'm telling you, man, 2 weeks, the longest of my life.
Well, sure.
For the DNA to come
Sure.
back. I was down in North Carolina, went out fishing on the boat, and I came back
Or
late
golf.
afternoon. I saw the DNA came back,
We're in Wilmington at
Wilmington.
Thanksgiving.
and I saw the DNA came back. Ding, ding, I look it up. He was 1800 MC. You probably know.
I don't know what that means.
That would be
Yeah,
uncle.
CM.
or
But they
dad.
don't, on Ancestry, they did not say uncle, they say first cousin.
Yeah.
I was a little,
Chris or,
Close.
yeah, we with him in the Holland.
yeah.
And I look, they say first cousin. First, I thought maybe first cousin. I click on the DNA that I share with him. 1800, I'm saying, that's it. I called the lady up, I say, Sherry, she would cry. She worked free, no money.
Does she work for a company that did the
No.
search for you?
Yeah, she's a family detective, free, no charge. And she would jump up and cry. I guess she called Uncle Chris and
He's happy.
stuff from there.
Yeah.
She not even $1. I asked her, I want to send her some gift, she refused.
And this is the Cook family?
No,
Or
this
which-
is
Who was this?
Researcher.
the
The
research.
lady
researcher.
that was a researcher.
She's wonderful. Uncle, going to Uncle
What was
Chris,
her name again?
Cherry.
Sherry?
She was born in Georgia, but now she lives in Texas. She wanted to be here today, going to Uncle Chris, but she didn't make it.
Yeah.
Man, her dad was a Marine in Vietnam as
She's
well.
a young girl, you know,
Oh, yeah.
probably out of college several years. Did genealogy, I looked her up, genealogy research in college.
You know what?
and
She's
that was her
awesome.
profession.
So many nights I call her up. She's there anytime. I went different way. You do all the DNA, you know.
Mhm.
I build different tree. I would concentrate on the Lego and Holland. And I thought, and the Walker. I thought I was a Walker.
Walker, yeah.
And you know, when the DNA came back, she said, "No, you're wrong." I said, "No, well, you go your way, I go my way." You know, of course she was right. She a professional DNA, and I'm just a learner. But in the process, you know, I learned so much. The ancestry, you know, ancestor, great grandfather.
Go ahead.
Hi,
Hi, Sherry.
how are you?
That's the lady. That's
I'm doing good. I had a whole family here, and I wish you'd be here with us.
I wish I were too. I tried, but it just didn't work out.
Hey, you didn't tell me that though. Uncle Chris told me that you were going to be here today too.
Tell her. That's right.
I know. I tried my best.
Hey,
How does it feel coming home?
I'm telling you, it's so emotional for me.
Ugh. I can't imagine.
I see my dad grave. This is the man I've been looking all 40-some years, and when I find a way home and he's not there for me, it's hurt. He's hurt, but
It's sad.
it's very hurt. It's sad, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm happy that I know where the heck I'm from at. Look at that way. Look at that way.
Yes, I'm glad we know where you're from because it was driving us crazy.
I know. I was talking about you. I said so many nights and so many hours that you spent on this case, and it was just awesome. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
You
I
were,
felt like I was living in Georgia for a while trying to find everybody.
you are my angel, to let you know, Sherry.
Oh,
You
you're
are.
so sweet.
Y'all are
I'm so
brothers,
happy for
right?
you all.
Are y'all brothers?
We're
and
brothers.
I wish I was there to give
Is that
everybody
on,
a hug.
is that on the picture where you,
And
is
tell them how
Yeah.
much I
that on
appreciate them
FaceTime?
helping out.
No.
Yeah.
that on FaceTime?
No, it's not. It's
Especially
just
Mr.
regular.
Lego
She
and your Uncle
knew
Chris.
every
They're
person in
awesome.
her family. Well, I sit here with just about everybody, and my brother, my aunt, my sister, my first cousin. I mean, everybody here, and cousin Doug, Tommy Taylor, Doug Taylor, and I tell you, we just telling story here, and I wish you was here. Just appreciate, thank you, that's all.
Oh, well, I wish I was too. Just lay eyes on everybody and
My little half brother or sister over there as well.
I'm telling you.
We, you know, honestly, when cousin Catherine sent me an email saying, told me that, I told her that I'm looking for my dad. I don't looking for money. I don't looking for anything else. I'm pretty much fortunate enough that, you know, me, my wife, and kid live comfortable American dream. And she responded, not everybody think the same as you do. And I just hope that today, you know, we all 40, 50 years old. We don't come for money, or we just need to know our root and where our dad and our family is. And I was on the Vietnam veteran website, a couple of them, Vietnam Reflection, Vietnam, several of them, and I know that some of them think that whatever issues in the past, you know, the history of Vietnam, or
They
They
just wanna
did-
forget it,
they-
that kind of thing?
they don't want to forget, or they worry that the kid come forward and root blame whatever. Not at all about. I just hope that we looking for. If the DNA is one thing, but I think it's the help that we don't know. And you know, I couldn't be happy today. Look at my dad grave, and
Yep.
I really cried.
You brought Kim and your beautiful daughters to the family. How did you meet Kim?
I went back to Vietnam and meet Kim, and